Hiya homebrewers, I'm JabeerIni and today I'm going to show you how I'll brew the winter warmer I'll be drinking for Christmas. It's a good thing that I've brewed the pumpkin ale before because that gave me some sort of experience and orientation on how to use the spices, most of which I will be reusing now, or using for a second time now with this brew. I didn't expect to be brewing today, but it's a free day for me. It's a day off work for me today, so any free time is a good excuse to brew. And with that being said, and without further ado, let's get brewing! And here we are in the kitchen, ready for the action. As you can see there, I've got everything prepared. And before starting, there's something we need. We need a home brew. And you might be wondering, what's that? Well, that's coffee because it's too early in the morning and I won't be drinking a beer right now. But I guess that since I brewed it at home, this counts as a home brew. Ba-bam-boom! I've never brewed drinking coffee. As the brew day goes by, I'll see if I switch to a nice beer. So, let's take a look at the ingredients we'll be using. Alright, again, I'll be using 8 liters of water instead of the usual 5 because this is going to be a busy Christmas in my place this year. So the more beer I get, the better. If you want to brew a full batch or a 1 gallon batch, then just scale it up or down. 1.5 kilos of pale ale. This is a pale to row malt, or you can just use Maris Otter. Actually, I'm using this one instead of Maris Otter because this one was cheap and it's more or less the same thing. I just want to see how different it tastes. Well, in this brew it's sort of useless because there's gonna be so much things inside that I won't tell the difference. But in any case, I'll know if it's bad. Hopefully that won't be the case. So yeah, in case it's a good one, I guess I'll use it every now and then instead of Maris Otter. And if you can't find Maris Otter and this one turns out to be good, well, I'll let you know. 150 grams of Special W, 30 grams of chocolate, 150 grams of molasses. There in the UK you can use black treacle. That's amazingly good, and I know it's good. I used it in my dark ale. It tastes amazing, and I'm just crossing my fingers that this one, which is from Spain, is just as good. As for the hops, we'll be using 7 grams of Challenger at 60 minutes, that's for bittering, and 7 grams of Eastern Goldings, 5 minutes before the end of the boil, for aroma and a little flavor. As a fining agent, I'll be using 1/4 tablet of Proud of Luck. And last, but most important, our yeast. I'll be using an M36 Liberty Bell Ale from Mangrove Jacks. This is a very, very good yeast. This and M42 are my favorite ones. So, that's it. Let's get it on. Alright, so the first thing, as usual, we need to get this pot with 8 liters of water to 65 degrees. Which will give me time to measure grains and hops. And, oh, I forgot to present the spices. Well, alright. Now is a good time. I'm sorry, I just woke up. So I'll be using cinnamon sticks, cloves, ginger, nutmeg, and a tablespoon of orange peel. Alright, so water's now at the desired temperature, which is 65, actually a little higher than 65 degrees, because once the grains go in here, the temperature is going to decrease in a couple of degrees. So I'm aiming for a solid 65 after I put the grains in. And here I've got all the grains, including the specialty grains. But not including, obviously, the molasses, which will be added, I guess, 15 minutes before the end of the boil. I'm always and constantly stirring and shaking this in order to avoid the possible formation of dough balls, especially now in this recipe because it's, as you can see, a high grain bill. It's got a lot of grains, so in order to have the best efficiency possible, which we'll need because this is a high ABV beer, we'll need to make sure the grains are well mashed. Alright, so I'll be back once the 60-minute mash is over. Cheers! Alright, 60 minutes have passed and now the mash is over. Look at that color. It's beautiful. It smells great here in the kitchen. Alright. So let's turn this to maximum power. Before the sparge, we need to collect 200 milliliters. You don't need to be specific on the exact amount, but it needs to be around 200 milliliters because we're gonna make a syrup just like the one we made for the wee heavy. Same procedure here. So I'm gonna collect more or less 200 milliliters of wort before sparging. Let's give this a good old stir. Alright, and let's collect more or less 200 milliliters, which should be, I believe, this mug, or almost all the mug. So this is more or less the amount I'm collecting, and I think this is more than 200 milliliters. But and in case you didn't see it, what we're going to do with this is we're going to boil it in order to reduce it to a syrup, and this will improve a lot the flavor and the color of the beer. Even if the color at this point I'm not too concerned because it's going to be dark, so but the flavor, it's gonna give it a more malty flavor to the beer. So I'll be back after the sparge and after I've reduced this. Cheers! Alright, as you can see, we got the rolling boil that we need for the first hop addition. This is 7 grams of Challenger. And also, as you can see here, we got the wort boiling and reducing. It's getting thicker and thicker. And all we have to do is stir every once in a while until it's got that syrup texture that we need. And that's it. So I'll be back once one of the two following things happens first. Either this is a syrup and we can pour it here, which I think is going to be the case, or 15 minutes before the end of the boil for the molasses addition and product flock. So I'll be back. Cheers! Alright, 2 quick updates. I decided to have a beer. Cheers! And the second update is that the syrup is ready. Look at that consistency. It's absolutely thick and, well, it is what we need now. So it's time to pour it here. As you can see, the amount is very little. It's not too much, but it does a very good job. So that's it. I'll be back 15 minutes before the end of the boil for the molasses and product flock addition. And I'll see you then. Cheers! Alright, 15 minutes before the end of the boil, time to add the molasses or black treacle if you're in the UK. There we go. The smell is quite the same as I remember the black treacle. Let's take it all out, or most of it at least. That was easy. Alright, that's it. And the quarter of a tablet of product flock. In it goes. So I'll be back 5 minutes before the end of the boil for the aroma / little flavor hop addition. Cheers! 5 minutes before the end of the boil, time to add the 7 grams of flavor, well, little flavor and some aroma hops. This is 7 grams of Eastskin Goldings. And, well, everything is coming to an end. I'll be back 1 minute before the end of the boil for the spices addition. 1 minute before the end of the boil, and here I've got all the spices combined and together here in this glass, and in they go. well, I've got a little powder, I don't know if it's ginger or nutmeg, in it goes. It's only 1 minute because I read that if you leave it boiling for longer, most of the essential oils that actually bring the flavor that we're looking for here, they evaporate. Of course you can imagine the aromas here. It smells beautiful. And now it's only a matter of seconds until the boil is over. And here I'm back. It was literally a matter of seconds. The smell of the orange peel is extremely present, and the cinnamon as well. Not getting too much of the rest, but it is what it is. So time to cool this down the usual way. I'll be back once it's already in the fermenter. Cheers! Alright, so after cooling the wort down, I transferred it to the fermenter, and I have to say that I think that if I want to warm up something this winter, I'll have to turn off the AC first. It's hot! So the beer comes handy. I'm saying all this because it took me nearly 15 minutes to cool the wort down versus the usual 3 minutes there in Scotland, especially considering the season of the year. There is a pic of the gravity rating. As you can see, it's 1062. It's a little lower than I expected. According to Brewer's Friend's recipe tool, it should have been 1068. So I missed quite a chunk in this one. But I'm hoping that the yeast will do its job and will get it as low as possible so that I can end up with the targeted ABV, which is between 6.6 and 6.8, if I don't remember wrongly. So let's pitch the yeast. There, you can see it better. Here we go. There it is. And that's it. Brew day is over. Now it's only a matter of weeks until we know how good or not so good it is. I can tell you only by the smell of it that it's good. It smells really good. We'll just have to wait and see. Alright, so this is it for this week. But before saying goodbye, there's 4 Facebook groups I would like to give a shout out and thanks. I belong to these groups and they have been extremely helpful. They allow me to get to you because they allow me to publish my YouTube videos, and well, they're there to give some advice, to share experience, and well, everything's related to homebrew. So they have different objectives, but certainly these 4 groups I'm about to mention are very helpful. Very nice people. If you don't belong to any of these groups and you're interested in homebrewing, well, then I would highly advise you, I would highly recommend you to search for All Grain Homebrew. That's one. The other one is Mini Mashers. The other one is Homebrewers. And the 4th one is BIAB, Brew in a Bag. Excellent people in all of those groups. Very nice. Always there to give you some advice in case you're looking for some advice or just to share your homebrew experience. So to all of you, people from those groups and the corresponding administrators, thank you for letting me in. Great people, great time, and great content. If you like what you see, like, and don't forget to subscribe. And as usual, thanks for watching. Cheers and beers!
Mm-hmm.